Hello, my name is Nick Dutch and I'm doing a video about the pagan or occultist view on evolution. I'm replying to this guy. This is going to be great fun. This is the guy's channel, robthorn86, and maybe, just maybe, this is the video I've been looking for all my life. I mean, this is quite interesting, possibly even hilarious. I've taken a few notes linked in the sidebar, so have a look at the original, and I'm going to make a few comments based upon some sections. Sorry I can't do proper groovy video editing because I'm using a lower quality computer at the moment, so sorry about that. robthorn86 did make a request for video responses at approximately 37 seconds into the video, so essentially that's what I'm doing today. I do have one agreement with him, and that he says that magic, or whatever that is essentially experimental. He made that statement at approximately 1 minute and 12 seconds into the video. But the interesting thing is, he also says that occult science is called science for a reason. Now, maybe it is, but maybe the reason it's called science is not the reason that you want it to be. Maybe it's there to give an apparent level of respectability to something which is not academically respectable. Or alternatively, it is an encouragement to try and get you to use the scientific method. Now, robthorn86, I do not feel you've used the scientific method in your analysis of the subject at hand. Now, at 1 minute 17 seconds into the video, you make the statement, "We know that the forces are around us," in which case you do not state how you know this, how you can prove this, whether there is any form of evidence, so to speak, which is not purely of a subjective experiential nature. You do not state this, but yet you say that you know it. I want you to define precisely and properly what you mean by knowledge in this particular case and in this particular instance, because essentially I feel that, you know, you're becoming one of those sorts of people that makes other people like myself who are involved in the occult movement look a bit stupid. Alright, 1 minute 20 or thereabouts, you say, "I strongly believe in working with the forces around you." You've got to state what you mean by working with. You really do have to. And even further on down the line, you say they work for everybody. The word work means has a function, a reliable function. This is what the word means in common parlance. Right? Does it work with the same reliability as my mobile phone? Does it work with the same reliability as the remote control for my stereo and my digital TV? Answer the question, please. You're begging the question, you're using circular reasoning, you're making a suggestion that there are some conclusions which are already proven even before you've opened your mouth and made a statement, and you're basing your conclusions from these statements upon the presupposition, which is of course unproven. You cannot do that, it is wrong. Alright, then about 3 minutes 11 he rants on about bombing the moon and being sort of intellectually or emotionally split, despite the fact that, as robthorn86 says, he is a scientist at heart. Well, if you're a scientist at heart, you shouldn't give a fuck whether the moon is being bombed or not. Information has to be gained, and that's what science is about. If you have to bomb the moon, nuke the moon, I don't care so long as the humans are safe. Right, so 3 minutes 56 seconds or thereabouts into the video, you mention human evolution, and you say, "Did we come from monkeys?" Oh, God. Know the theory of evolution. We came from a common ancestor, okay? If you think about giraffes, they might have long necks, but they got the same number of vertebrae in their necks as you have and as I have, okay? Because there's a common ancestor to land mammals, alright? Even to whales. You're somehow related to a whale if you go back far enough, alright? Because it's probable, according to natural science, that human beings and other forms of mammals actually evolved after the meteor hit the planet and the dinosaurs became extinct from tiny little shrew-like creatures. Right? So we probably, scientifically speaking, we probably didn't come from monkeys. We came from shrew-like creatures, which were the early mammals, which could scurry around the dead bodies of the dinosaurs. You've got to know this stuff, okay? Just check this. How am I doing for time? Shit, I'm always halfway through. This is hilarious. About 4 minutes and 8 seconds into your video, you say, "It's possible we got dropped off by aliens." No, there is no objective proof. Now, the only form of scientific evidence which correlates life on Earth with life on outer space is something called the 84001 meteorite, There was a bit of controversy about it. Even Bill Clinton was on television saying that this meteorite and the scanning electron microscope studies of this meteorite has proven that there is a possibility of microbes in outer space. The early scanning electron microscopes, if my Open University education serves me correctly, which it does, relied upon the samples being covered by a very thin layer of gold, thereby distorting the actual surface of the sample. If you were to take, let's say, a blanket and drape it over a shingle beach, you would see that there's like possibly even worm-like patterns or structures appearing on the surface of the blanket. Well, that's what we had on the 84001 meteorite. And even today, there are people writing books and going around doing massive presentations saying this rock proves that we humans may have come from Mars. When in fact, that is based upon faulty science and a faulty premise. So there's not enough information. You cannot make that claim no matter what. At about 4 minutes 12 into the video, you say that everyone has the right to believe what they want to believe. Not necessarily. So long as they know it's a belief and they don't present it or represent it as a fact, because that will be misrepresentation and indeed a straw man argument. And earlier on in this video, you've used the word knowledge at about 1 minute 17, when essentially you're not talking about knowledge, you're talking about belief or some forms of subjective experience which cannot necessarily be proven properly objectively, despite the fact that you say that you're a scientist at heart. It's fucking hilarious. Alright, you say that mythologies correlate with evolution. No, they don't. Explain how the theory of the common ancestor fits into any mythology, and properly and in detail, please. Right. You say in 6 minutes and 8 minutes into your video that animals came first in all religions, but they don't say there was a common ancestor. Therefore, this is not proof of evolution in being present in mythologies. At 6 minutes 29, again you say we come from monkeys, when in fact, no, that's a lie. We come from a common ancestor. Okay, how are we doing for time now? Alright. 6 minutes 43 into your video. You say if we did come from monkeys, it would be degrading. Alright, and you give like the example of, would it be any more degrading if your mother went out and got drunk and slept with someone and then, hey presto, that was the product of your birth. Well, recent evidence, which I believe comes from the skeleton of Ardi, suggests that the human form is actually more primitive than that of a chimpanzee. Alright, this is relatively recent knowledge we've now got about the human organism. This is quite a primitive style of hand, and it's probable that this is a more this thing came evolutionary before the chimp's hand started to develop. So we are actually physically, not mentally, all right, because we've got language, culture, we can build things, and we got like computers and all the rest of that. But physically speaking, we are probably more primitive than chimpanzees because they've carried on evolving. Alright, we did not come from monkeys, okay? We didn't. We came from a common ancestor with the monkeys and the whales and all the other fun things on the face of the planet, alright? And this is hilarious. It really is. Okay, 7 minutes and 50 seconds into your video, you suggest that the Greek myths might be evidence that humans came from aliens. Now, okay, so, you're proud of your religion, you're proud of what you believe, you're proud of who you are, fine, alright, but you say you're a scientist at heart. But what you haven't done is demonstrated scientific thought, you haven't demonstrated research, you haven't demonstrated that you understand the concepts you're speaking of. Your videos are quite beautiful, your introductions are quite beautiful, and all the rest of that, but you're talking shit! And I'm sorry to have to talk to you this way, but I'm sorry, but you're promoting a model of life which is incorrect and lies. It goes contrary to all of the information and evidence which has been gained and developed and built up by the natural sciences. I'm sorry. And no, I'm not an alien. I am a proud being with the same common ancestry as other land mammals, including chimpanzees. But it's a common ancestor and not the fact that my grandpa was a chimp or whatever the fuck it is you believe. Alright. Good fortune, God and or goddess and or none of the above bless. Nick Dutch signing out for now. Keep whatever faith and or lack of it you've got, and we'll speak again soon. Bye for now.